We welcome you back to Safeco Field. And late night with the Rays from the West Coast. The Rays and the Seattle Mariners square off.
That's a live shot. Live shot of the booth.
Fun, fun, fun.
I wish I knew what was said when that happened.
Yeah, we'd be saying it a lot. Well, let's take a look at the starting lineup here for the Rays, presented by your Southern Ford dealers. It's going to be Corey Dickerson to lead off again as the designated hitter. Kevin Kiermaier in center hits second. It's Evan Longoria at third, hitting third. Logan Morrison, Steven Souza Jr., and Kobe Rasmus down the middle. The shortstop is Tim Beckham at second base tonight. Daniel Robertson hitting eighth, and the catcher is Derek Norris batting ninth.
Taking the mound tonight for the Seattle Mariners is going to be right-hander Sam Gaviglio, making his fourth start. You see the record 1-1. Picked up that win in his last outing. That was against the Colorado Rockies in Colorado. 5 innings, 5 earned, but picked the right night to pitch and picked up that first Major League win. Let's take a look at the Mariner defense. Brought to you by Gold and Diamond Source. And in the outfield left to right, we have Guillermo Heredia, Jared Dyson, and Ben Gamel. Across the infield third to first, Kyle Seager, Taylor Motter, Robinson Cano, and Danny Valencia, with Mike Zunino behind the plate.
So we're set to play baseball. Dickerson starting the night at .342, leading the American League in that department. Gaviglio all set, and the first pitch is fouled right back, dislodging Zunino's mask already. 64 degrees here in Seattle. Absolutely gorgeous. Clear skies. You see Dickerson at .342. Gene Segura on the disabled list now, leading Seattle and running second. 1 ball, 1 strike.
And what you'll see from Gaviglio, not an overpowering fastball, more of a sinker slider type guy. 88, 89, may touch 90. He has to work down in the zone.
There's a shot back into right field. Gamel will go to the track. He's going to leap, and that ball is out of here. Home run over the yellow line. And a leadoff homer for Dickerson, his 13th of the year. And the Rays break out in front. Third pitch of the game, and the Rays are on the board.
Well, Dwayne, I no sooner got it out of my mouth, but you see the reason that Gaviglio has to work down in the zone. He leaves pitches elevated. The Rays, with all their power, are going to have a field day. And that pitch was up around the belt. And Corey Dickerson, well, he just continues to impress.
For the Rays, their 87th home run of the year. They lead the major leagues. Here's Kiermaier going after the first pitch and skying it to Dyson in center. And that's the first out. 87 home runs, 13 for Dickerson, and the 6th leadoff home run this year for Corey.
Now, Corey Dickerson, the majority of the time is in that leadoff spot, and he gets the Rays going early. And you start to think about all the runs this team scores early in games, especially in the first inning. Big reason why is that guy.
Here's Evan Longoria taking a ball. Evan with 8 home runs this year. And the next one will be number 250 of his career. 1-1 the count. Ground ball headed toward the middle and through into center. Base hit for Longoria. So the Rays come out swinging.
Yeah, well, listen, Gaviglio, he's trying to establish his fastball here early, but too many of them are catching a lot of the plate. Even the ball that Kiermaier hit was hit hard. Evan Longoria pounds that ball right back up the middle. Of course, Corey Dickerson has already homered, so Gaviglio better start finding the corners of the plate and the bottom of the strike zone, or this Rays lineup's going to explode.
Well, here's a guy who could take advantage of a misplaced pitch out over the plate. Logan Morrison fifth in the league in homers with 15. Down and in for a ball. Well, there's the home run derby in the American League. Aaron Judge with 18 leading, and then Morrison tied for fifth. Shot back into center field. Dyson will go back, not yet to the track, making the catch. So a deep fly ball to center off the bat of Morrison for the second out.
Another ball that was well hit. Wasn't perfectly hit, but it was another pitch that was out over the plate, a little bit of elevation. And you think about that, velocity range, 88 to 90. When it's up in the zone, it's going to flatten out and just becomes very hittable. So again, the Rays are getting some good swings here early, and you expect them to have some opportunities to put some runs on the board here tonight.
Steven Souza Jr. hitting fifth. And that's a strike.
Guessing. Playing the guessing game right there. That wide open right side there for Souza Jr. I don't think he's real concerned about that.
And lays off that same pitch this time, 1-1. On the outside part of the plate, says Chris Siegel, calling the balls and strikes tonight. Longoria, the runner at first.
You don't expect Longoria to be running here, but teams have gone after Gaviglio in just 18 innings of work coming into this start. Been 5 attempts, 4 successful in the stolen base department.
Now 2-2. In the last 6 series, the Rays have won 5 and split 1. And if they're to continue that trend, they're going to have to win tonight and again tomorrow. Wide with the fastball around 90. And the count is full.
Yeah, last night's game was a bummer, huh?
Yep.
Very uncharacteristic of this Rays team.
12-4. Mariners won that one. Well, the Rays have found themselves in this stretch where they drop the first game, win the next 2. And they're going to have to do that here to keep that going. And that is strike 3 called on the outside corner. So the Rays are out in the first. They get a run on the leadoff home run by Corey Dickerson. They leave a man, Dickerson's 13th home run of the year. And it's 1-0 Tampa Bay as we go to the bottom of the first. Alex Cobb will go to the mound for the Rays, his 12th appearance out there as he goes for the win tonight to pull even in this series. Here's the lineup he will face, presented by your Southern Ford dealers. Ben Gamble's going to lead it off, followed by Guillermo Heredia, and then Robinson Cano, Nelson Cruz, Kyle Seager, and Danny Valencia down the middle. Taylor Motter hits 7th. Gerard Dyson in center field hitting 8th, and Mike Zunino behind the plate.
Well, Alex Cobb, that 12th start, even up record 4-4, ERA 3.67, 68 2/3 innings of work.
First pitch is a ball to Gamble. He's hitting .311 with a couple of home runs. A high foul ball down the left side, over for it, Rasmus, but it's out of reach. And the count is 1-1.
Yeah, and a nice job being done by Ben Gamble out of that leadoff spot. You saw the batting average impressive, but the on base at .390. That's exactly what you'd like to have out of the leadoff spot.
Now 2-1. Gamble out of the New York Yankees organization. That's going to fall into short left center. Rasmus makes the pickup. He didn't hit it hard, and that allowed him to reach.
Okay, it continues to be hot out of the leadoff spot with the on-base percentage. Let's take a look at the Tampa Bay Ray defense, brought to you by Gold and Diamond Source. And in the outfield, left to right, we have Colby Rasmus, Kevin Kiermaier, and Steven Souza Jr. Across the infield, third to first, Longoria, Beckham, Robertson, and Morrison. Derek Norris behind the plate.
Guillermo Heredia steps in with an average of .289. Over to first, back in, Gamble.
Nice scoop there by Logan Morrison. And he's another, good on-base guy. Almost .350 on-base percentage. You think about what this offense would be like with Segura in there.
Yeah, the Rays fortunate to miss him. Ground ball, double play ball. Beckham, Robertson, Morrison, 6-4, 3 and out on the double play. So the base hit, and Heredia rolls the double play ball to short.
Well, Alex Cobb can go and get a ground ball when he needs one. And certainly in this situation, he crowds Heredia. That ball in, and it just ties him up a little bit. Soft hit. You get Beckham moving towards second base. Robertson with the transfer. Nicely done.
Now, Robinson Cano. .294 on the year for the veteran second baseman. 8 of 23 in the lifetime matchup against Cobb. And 3 of those hits home runs. First pitch, he takes a fastball for a strike.
Well, we talked about it a little bit, Dwayne, during the pregame show, and you know that Alex Cobb goes back and you're looking at all of that video. Pretty long track record at this point, and you're trying to take a look at how is Robinson Cano getting the best of it? Is it a certain pitch? Is it a certain area? Is it a certain sequence? And then you try to build from there and try to reverse some of those trends.
Tapper foul, 0-2. Well, we know from most of this year, Cobb has been fastball and then curveball, looking for that changeup, that split, to be as consistent as it was before. And we see him occasionally at the opportune time roll out that changeup. just to see if it's there and if he can develop it to the point where it's going to be another effective pitch for him.
We've seen signs of it coming along slowly, but you know, he's very reticent to use it in any kind of high leverage situation.
Yep.
And that's smart. You know, the curveball has been a very nice substitute
what he's
for that
done
split
with
change.
that
I know.
Is amazing. You talk about a fastball, okay, and you can spot the fastball. He can do that with a curveball.
Yeah, and that's what makes that pitch special. He can drop it on the outside corner. He can drop it down and in. He can take it middle of the plate below the zone.
One ball, two strikes. You talk about young pitchers getting an opportunity to learn how to pitch.
Yeah.
He's the guy to watch. Tune him in every time he pitched, trying to figure out what you're supposed to do out there.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of pitching in this day and age with all the great stuff become very robotic because of the pure velocity that's out there. Alex Cobb, more of a throwback pitcher, moving the ball around the zone, spotting the fastball, moving the curveball around the zone, picking his spots with the changeup.
And that's really such a fun element of this game. Once you start to gain that insight about particular pitchers and watch them execute, it's really fun. Especially if they're the team's pitcher you're rooting for and they're executing. Well, that one stayed a little wide.
We've seen now the curveball be used in the middle of the plate. We saw him pull one in. That one he tried to drop on the outside corner. So he right now in this first at bat to Cano, it's been all fastball and curveball, but he has given Robinson a lot to think about, moving that ball all over the place, as you can see on Fox Tracks.
3-2 now. Liner into center field. That's going to hang up and be caught by Kiermaier to retire the side. We go to the second inning. Kobe Rasmus will lead it off. Sun brought to you by your local Ford dealer. By Jeep. Get great deals at the Jeep Spring Clearance Event. And by your local Toyota dealers. Let's go places. Late night with the Rays from Safeco Field in Seattle.
Cookie, anyone? The Cookie Monster.
A little energy early here on the late night.
And look, you have the headset on too. So this is during a ball game, and you're still serving.
First pitch, Rasmus fouls it away. Strike one. Rasmus, Beckham, and then Robertson.
I'm assuming that those were healthy cookies.
They are, yes.
A little something light during the game.
Yeah, a lot of vitamins in there.
Don't want to get bogged down to vitamins in chocolate chip cookies. That's tremendous.
A 2-strike count.
Maybe that's what you were doing when they had my picture up there where I was laughing. You're here, you were offering me a vitamin-filled cookie, and I lost it.
Yeah, and they really are healthy. Little ground ball back of first. Valencia makes the play unassisted. That's the first out here in the second. Always taught to share.
Very wise. It's a lifelong lesson. By the way, how pumped are you for late night with the Rays? We haven't had one yet.
I know, absolutely.
It's been 2 months.
Yep, that's exactly right.
It's been too long.
Alex involved in the whole process, and I'm sure she'll have more from Steven Souza Jr.
Great candidate right out of the gate.
Oh, just a perfect subject. Strike call to Tim Beckham.
The good thing about Souza Jr. is he's a guy that you can go back to multiple times.
Yep.
You can go back to him when we go out to Anaheim or something like that.
He just keeps on giving. 1 ball, 1 strike. Rays facing the 27-year-old right-hander, Sam Gaviglio, making his 4th start, 5th appearance. It's 1-2. Tim Beckham now with 9 home runs. Hit one. He and Rasmus hit back-to-back home runs last night in the 4th inning. And only a couple other shortstops and a couple pretty good ones have as many or more home runs than Beckham right now.
Get all that damage done too on the road. I'll tell you,
Francisco Lindor has 12. Carlos Correa with Houston with 10, and then Beckham.
He's been impressive. You know, he will ring the strikeouts up, but you know, you can offset that by hitting the ball hard. That's what he does. Hits the ball hard. Of course, the 9 home runs, good production, driving runners in. You know, I'll tell you something else. Out at shortstop, he's held his ground out there. And, you know, he's one of those guys where when he just is in rhythm, boy, he can make plays. You know what I mean? You're not thinking about anything. You're just letting your athleticism take over. And he, you know, can be very impressive out there. And then with his stick.
Out on strikes.
He'll do that every now and then. And he's shaking his head like, yeah. I mean, he missed that ball by plenty.
But that doesn't stop him from swinging.
No, and it doesn't get him down. You see that was a breaking ball that bounced before the plate, and Beckham obviously seeing fastball out of the hand. Takes an early swing.
2 up, 2 down. Now Daniel Robertson. Pitch is a strike.
Nick Gaviglio, he actually came up to this team to be kind of like their long man. But with all of the injuries on this pitching staff, all of a sudden he finds himself starting.
Yeah, and here's a young man you figured knows a little something about pitching. Scott Servers, his manager, former catcher. His grandfather, a former catcher and manager and coach and front office executive. The Major, Ralph Houck, who managed the Yankees and went on to the Tigers. And a great baseball man. It's a strike on the outside part of the plate. So it's 2-2. Ralph Houck back there in the early 60s and then another little stretch in the mid 60s. He had Mickey Mantle, Roger Maris, Coney Kubek, and Bobby Richardson, all those guys.
Boy, having a front row seat for all of that talent and the things that you learn, that you pick up on. Well, and then all of that knowledge kind of flows downhill, and that's where It's amazing when you find a baseball family and then how many guys in that family end up making it to the highest level.
Up the right side, that ball's got some slice into the corner, and there goes Gamble. Boy, Gamble challenging that wall in foul territory. Boy, be careful with shoulder injuries. Jam a shoulder or separate one.
And the ribs too.
Yep.
When you going up, look at that. That caught him right in the rib cage, going up and over that low wall. Yeah, there's a lot of potential there. That wall's not going to give. You will, but that wall's going to stay right where it's at. Got to be careful. Like if you're going to wear your hair like that, though, you kind of figure he's going to try to make a play like that.
Never foul. Yeah, you get to the wall, you want to sort of go up the wall if you can and not try to go through it.
Yeah. Well, we got 2 right fielders that haven't learned that lesson yet.
Yeah, that's true. We've seen Souza try to leap over that side wall. And we'll have more about challenging the wall from Steven Souza Jr. as our evening progresses. Full count now to Daniel Robertson. You know, here's another thing you like about Robertson. Now, who knows if he's going to hit 300 or 260 or 250, but he'll work an at bat too. And breaks one right there.
And he's another young guy that's been impressive out in the field.
Yeah, he certainly has.
Good footwork around second base, good range, and the ability to work an at bat. And I'll tell you, if that's an approach that you can continue on with, you are going to be able to put up some offensive numbers. If you're working at bats like that, seeing a lot of pitches, fouling them off, that just builds the comfort level, and the numbers will follow.
Yeah, and that will earn you big league time too.
Yep.
His approach on both sides of the baseball certainly recommend that he's going to continue to get better, and you want a guy like that around.
That 4.43 number is huge. When you break it down, hitters and pitches per plate appearance, that is a big number. You saw what the average was, 3.88. Teams don't waste a whole lot of time getting out there and swinging the bat, but almost 4.5 pitches per plate appearance for a young player like Robertson, very impressive.
Well, he's run a 10-pitch at bat right here. And he is out on strikes. So it's a 1-2-3 inning after all. Rays lead 1-0. Barksdale talking it over. And who better to talk about challenging the wall in the stands than Steven Souza Jr.
Yeah, so I get here and I see this guy and I say, you know what, I don't like Toronto that much, so I'm going to come off the top rope and I'm going to take him down. And I did. That's all that happened right there. I wasn't even attempting for the ball. So he lost his beer and I won the battle. That's pretty much what happened right there.
Just some straight talk from Steven Souza Jr. right there.
He just admitted what we long have known.
Yeah.
That was targeting.
Yeah.
He was going right after the guy,
yeah.
And you could see him lead with the forearms. And the fact that he just came out and said it, I mean, look at this. Look, there he is.
Yeah, see, there was a guy right in front. He goes, he didn't like that guy much.
Yeah, there's the fake. Are you okay?
Yeah.
Hopefully he's not watching.
I know, he could be looking for him. Well, I'm not sure I'd want to be looking for Steven Souza Jr.
No.
There's a strike to Nelson Cruz.
I'll tell you the other thing about Steven Souza Jr. You may not get the best kind of feel, watching the game, on TV or even being at the game.
Hot shot, and this one skips over Longoria's glove into the left field corner. It'll be a 2-base hit for Cruz. Boy, you talk about exit velocity, and that being the hot corner, that ball sizzled by Evan Longoria.
And he's one of the best in the game, Dwayne. His hand-eye coordination, the way that he's able to get to baseballs, and even Evan didn't have a chance here, and he's playing deep. That ball absolutely roped, and it was by him before he could get his glove up. Wow. That right there will give you pause and if you want to play third base.
10th double of the year for Cruz. And the Mariners have a scoring threat. Kyle Seager at the plate. Takes it down.
Well, what I was going to say about Souza Jr.,
Yep.
he's a big guy. I mean, he's what, 6'4"?
Yeah.
6'3", 6'4"? Tall guy, can run, strong. So yeah, he goes at you in the stands. You're gonna feel it.
One ball, one strike. Two and one. Seager stepping back. He's 2 of 9 in his career against Cobb. They're having a little trouble getting on the same page. Seager stepping out again, and now he's back in.
Cat and mouse game. Alex Cobb trying to find the best pitch here. He's in a bad count with the runner in scoring position.
And misses in. Now it's 3 and 1. Andy Valencia on deck. And a long one up the right side, foul. Turned on that one.
Yeah, you've got to be careful because Kyle Seager is one of those hitters that loves the ball middle in to turn on for power. So if you're going to go in there, you'd better get it to your spot. If you do, he's not going to be able to keep it fair. That's what happened right there. That ball was in far enough that, yeah, great contact, but there's no way to keep that pitch fair. It's when it leaks back out over is when Seager can do his damage.
Cobb and Norris, a little get together in front of the mound. Seager hit 30 home runs last year. He's one of those guys who's just gotten a little better with each passing season. Now 3-2. Fly ball into right. Souza's going to have to go to the wall, and he makes the catch. The tag at second. Cruz will go to third. A long one off the bat of Seager, and Souza Jr. stayed with it.
Boy, he followed that ball right down to the top of the wall. It's a curveball that Seager gets into pretty good, not good enough. And here he is, right there at the, what was more impressive, Dwayne, the catch or the throw? I mean, he threw a bullet from the track out in right field, one hop perfectly to Longoria at third base. Not nearly in time, but boy, it was an impressive throw to watch.
Well, the infield will come up. The Rays overloading the left side with Valencia at the plate. He has been red hot. Takes the first pitch for a strike. Breaking ball. Liner into left, that's going to be in there, a base hit. The run will score, and the game is tied. Valencia continues his hot hitting.
And really, Dwayne, that's the last thing that the Rays needed to see, because Valencia is hot and he owns Tampa Bay pitching. That was just too easy right there. Got a pitch to handle with the infield pulled in. He's already looking to get something in the air. And you see how he just kind of straightened that swing out, trying to get the ball airborne. Boy, kind of a stiff follow through to get underneath the baseball, and it leads to a base hit and the tying run.
He was on 4 times last night and on that RBI single the first time up tonight. Taylor Motter fouls this one back, and he struck early. Motter in the first inning last night hit a grand slam connecting off Jake Odorizzi.
That really didn't put the game out of reach, but that was just air and being let out of the tire on that one. 5-0 at that point. And to do it against your former team, that one hurts.
Well, here it is last night.
He did a good job of keeping his hands back on that breaking ball and was able to just sneak it over the wall.
It was 1-0 at the time, and that home run, the grand slam, capped the 5-run first.
And all 5 runs, Dwayne, unearned. That's another thing that really hurts. Sloppy defense right out of the gate for the Rays, and it came back to haunt him. Yeah, how about that? 8 runs, only 3 earned.
One ball, 2 strikes, the count on Motter. And there's a swing and a miss. Fastball gets him. That's out number 2. Well, that's one thing last night. You know, you got to chalk that up. It turns out to be one of those nights, but the Rays did give an extra out or 2 in that game. And this team has shown signs of actually being a team that could put a little run together. But that's going to be one of the issues that must be resolved that would allow them to do that. Dyson, a base hit end to right, reaching out and pulling that ball. Down to second goes Valencia.
We have seen a number of very good swings by these Mariner hitters here early in the game against the curveball. And they know coming in that changeup is a pitch that Alex Cobb is staying away from. So right now they're forcing him to be a 2-pitch pitcher, which is exactly what he is right now. So those get-me-over curveballs you're going to have to be careful with. And you may want to start sprinkling in a changeup here or there just to put it back into their minds. Because right now it's a completely disregarded pitch.
Mike Zunino, Cobb and Norris to get together. A run home, 2 outs. Zunino in a little over 50 games last year with the Mariners, hit 12 home runs. Now hitting .207. Shot toward right center field. That's in there and will go to the wall. Valencia scores. Dyson heads to the plate. It's a double for Zunino, and now it's 3-1 Seattle.
Well, and all of this coming here with 2 outs. The base hit by Dyson to keep things going, and Zunino gets a pitch out over the plate to hit. And you could not have split the Rays defenders in the outfield, Kiermaier and Souza Jr., the way that they were positioned. I mean, just perfect placement of this ball. It's away, and you see exactly where they are. Souza Jr. here, Kevin Kiermaier here, and he's going to put it right down the middle. Not a chance for either one of them.
Gamble, pitch in the dirt, blocked by Norris. 1 ball, no strikes. So the Mariners have struck for 3. Little looper into shallow left. That's going to fall for a base hit. Runner's going to try to score. Throw. He is out at the plate. Nice play by Rasmus to unload that throw to the plate to Norris to get Zunino trying to score on the base hit by Gamble. And that not only ends the inning, but cuts down a run.
Boy, he played this well, too. Played the bounce, and then look at this throw at dart. Leading here 3-1 at Safeco Field. Could have been worse, though, except for this play by Colby Rasmus. And at first you're thinking he's going to try to make this catch, but he pulls up. He knows he's not going to get there, but he wants to get a good bounce. He knows who's running, and he knows how strong his arm is, and that was just a great play by Rasmus. You're expecting him to maybe dive and try to make that catch, but instead he says, you know what, no, I'm going to pull up and get a nice high bounce, field it, throw it, and I'm going to get my guy at the plate. And he did exactly like that and lit up that Rays dugout.
That's his 3rd assist of the year. You know, he's not just the everyday left fielder out there with that arm. He had 11 assists from left field last year. So this is something he's done before. And boy, he made a great throw, a great play all the way around.
And you know what we've seen from him is he's got a strong arm. Yes, check that box. But his accuracy, he throws like a pitcher. I mean, he can put the ball where he needs to put it. And that's why, you know, a lot of guys like that, they don't end up getting that many assists because you just don't run on them. So even the guys that do take that chance, and of course you had to send Zunino there. You had to send him.
But boy, what a potentially big play that could be in this game, because it keeps it a 2-run game. It's 3-1. It would have been 4-1. They're still hitting. And Gamble's going to wind up at second, another base hit. Who knows what happens with that inning. But he put an end to it right there with a great throw.
And he has gone absolutely off the charts with the eye black.
Yeah.
It was normal and smeared. It started to head up. It became very King Diamond in Arlington, and now I'm not sure what it is. But it's mean and
it's working.
Yeah, it is working.
Norris with a full count. Dickerson next, and then Kiermaier.
Think about the Rays corner outfielders.
Oh, with the arms and what they can do out there, yeah.
And the other stuff.
And who they are.
Hey, late night with the Rays next edition's got to be Rasmus.
It's perfect. There's a line drive going to be caught by the shortstop Motter, and that's the first out. Yeah, it's an interesting outfield for the Rays from a lot of perspectives. You know, you put Kiermaier in the middle, and he plays center field like his hair's on fire, all over the place. And you got the two guys on the end, on either corner, great arms, and they're just going to go all out. Souza in right, Rasmus in left.
This team is never boring.
No.
Never.
No. Dickerson, who opened the game with a home run, takes the first pitch low, out of the zone this time. 1 ball, no strikes. You know the great thing, I mean, you see people, humans do this all the time. They'll see another person. Facial expressions tell you a lot about communicating without words. And you get a pretty good feel for that. But there are facial expressions from both Souza and Rasmus that you really enjoy, but you're not really sure about.
No, no. They'll keep you guessing. And I think that's part of the appeal of those two guys.
Love that.
Just like, what is he thinking right now?
Yep.
Not a clue. And you know what? And maybe we don't want to know what they're thinking.
No, I think we're probably better off not.
Like right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. What's going on? I hear the sound of crickets.
Foul out of play, 2-2.
I think you heard me.
It's a great duo there on the corners, the outfield for the Rays. Fun to watch.
Productive, powerful, like you said, great arms. It's you've got two right field arms, and guess what? Kiermaier's no slouch himself.
Yeah,
he can let it fly too.
Yep. Breaking ball, and he fouls it back.
Yeah, how do you attack Corey Dickerson?
Yeah, good question.
I mean, really, I saw a stat today, Dwayne, where his swing percentage on pitches that are outside the strike zone, that are balls, is the highest in Major League Baseball, and yet he's still as productive as he is. I mean, you talk about being a bad ball hitter.
And he's out on strikes.
There's the one place, there's the one place that's really tough. It's up and out of the zone, but it's close to the eyes. And if this pitch is further out over the plate, Corey Dickerson has a chance, but if you get it up enough in, and you see that's where Zunino wants it, and that's where it's put. That's just a perfect pitch by Gaviglio. But those are the small little windows that you have to get it to, or this guy is going to smoke it.
Now a bunt attempt by Kiermaier is foul. Strike one. Rays have a run, 2 hits. The run came on the Dickerson leadoff home run to start the game. Seattle with 3 runs in the second. Swing through that one. 0-2. It's a ball, 2-strike count. Rays in play tonight, a game over 500, 29 and 28. Two and 2. Kevin Kiermaier last night, he had 3 hits, including another home run in the 7th inning of last night's game.
That's a 3rd straight game for Kiermaier with a home run. He has been hot for a while now, swinging the bat.
Ground ball, and right there is Cano. The Rays are out in order. Bottom of the 3rd coming, 3-1 Seattle. We go to the bottom of the 3rd. Rays playing the Oakland Athletics Saturday, June 10th. Not once, but twice. Enjoy the Rays doubleheader for the price of a single admission. And the first 15,000 fans receive a Matt Duffy double play bobblehead presented by Spectrum. Visit RaysBaseball.com. Rays up. That's June 10th. Saturday doubleheader. Alex Cobb trying to settle in here. Guillermo Heredia at the plate. First pitch is a strike on the outside corner.
The more that we look at that Matt Duffy bobblehead double play deal, where the runner is sliding into the bag, and the fact that Duffy still has not yet released the baseball, I don't know if that double play got turned. I mean, unless that guy was running on the pitch, and maybe that's the case. But he's already to the bag, and Duffmeister is just off to the side getting ready to throw. And I don't know, if he could have possibly turned that double play.
There's a little tap to 3rd, glove by Longoria. Throw to 1st, nice job on the receiving end by Morrison. Morrison had to go to the foul side and do a little shuffling of the feet there to come up with that play. Nice job.
Yeah, you've got to be shifty over there at first base and pick up your infielders from time to time. And Logan Morrison, and when you're making that cross into foul territory, knowing that runner's bearing down, it's a little uneasy. Look at him, how he reaches back. I mean, you almost have a collision there. but he's able to do it flawlessly and make that fine play.
Here's Robinson Cano. Cano line to center his first time.
When I'm being told by the truck that I should probably just sit out the rest of this inning. Just
really?
Sit the next couple of plays
I thought
out.
it was going well.
Well, they didn't, and they
wow.
just, maybe just take a breather, regroup, and we'll see you in the fourth. So, have at it, big boy.
I thought we had something going before that play down at third to first.
Well, I've ruffled some feathers downstairs.
Wow, okay, well. Here's Robinson Cano. A little tapper foul. 0-2. Yeah. Frankly, I'm a little taken aback by all that. I just thought it was something that we had a little a little rhythm going here. Cruz will be next. Cano down 0-2. And it's a ball and 2 strikes. Shot to center field. Kiermaier is there for it. Runs that one down right in front of the track.
I kind of like where Cobb is going with this approach with Cano. Give him some breaking balls out over the plate. Let him hammer them, but hammer them in the middle of the field where you got Kevin Kiermaier. There you go, 0 for 2.
Well, you talk about pitching to your defense, and well, you got a guy like Kiermaier, almost anywhere is pitching to his defense.
That's it. Funnel pitches that cause hitters that have success off you to just hit lasers into center, and Kiermaier makes the play.
Yep.
None the worse for wear.
Cruz lines it the other way, out of the reach of Morrison and into right, and he is 2 for 2. Well, he's the guy who hit that shot up the left field line past Longoria in the second inning. Goes the other way this time.
Think about it. That's what makes Nelson Cruz so dangerous. He gets one by the third baseman. Very next at bat, he gets one by the first baseman. You talk about using the whole field. That's how you do it. Boy, just inside the breaking ball, slashes it into right field. I'll tell you, one of the more accomplished hitters, talked about it in the open. 3 straight years now of 40 or more home runs. Nice little run. And this is no easy place to be popping balls out of.
No, this is not a hitter's paradise by any stretch of the imagination.
You had a lot of people saying, okay, yeah, you hit 40 homers in Baltimore. That's great. You're going to go to the Pacific Northwest. What now? Well, not slowing down.
Want to know the count to Seager. Check swing and a foul ball. It's 1-1. You talk about a guy competing. That's what Cobb is doing right now. He's given up 7 hits in 2 2/3. He's down by 2, and he's out there competing, trying to keep the Mariners right where they are to give the Rays offense a shot.
That's all you can ask for.
Yep.
You're not going to be perfect every start. You're going to have some where you struggle, where it doesn't come that easy. But you've got to continue to compete and fight. And now we see the changeup coming out a little bit, realizing that the fastball, curveball, they're all over that.
Mm-hmm.
I've got to put that changeup in their mind, and we're starting to see it.
His last outing against the Twins, we did see the changeup, I think, 10 times in that game.
Yep.
So, it's not completely gone, and he's going to try to bring it back and revive that pitch as time goes by. It's such a great pitch for him. 2-2. Cruz is single. He's at first with 2 outs. Seager hit the ball to the wall in right field in the 2nd inning, and Cruz made the. I beg your pardon. Souza made the catch. Cruz, the runner at first. This time a fly ball straight away center. A lot of territory out there, and Kiermaier puts it away. Base hit, the man left. We go to the 4th. 3-1 Seattle. Break brought to you by T-Mobile from Miami. That's Edinson Volquez, who almost broke an ankle. They say on the first play of the game, hung around to throw the 6th no-hitter in franchise history, defeating Arizona. And that's the big story.
And he did it in style, too. In the 9th inning, punching out the side.
Yep.
I mean, if you're going to get one, that's a great way to get one. And I think through the first 3 innings here tonight that we had a pretty good run, Dwayne. But the Unicorn is just not going to make it. It's not going to make it.
Really?
And this one was particularly vicious.
Mm-hmm. Well,
sad.
From out of nowhere. Only took 98 pitches. That no-hitter.
Impressive.
And to destroy the Unicorn at the same time.
Yeah. Well, no, 54 from Gavilio. It's done. We need to have a graphic for when the Unicorn, when it doesn't make it, it's officially put to sleep. That you can just kind of a little update in the corner of the thing, like it's officially over with.
Survival rate, what it would be.
Yeah. See how deep we can get into the game before that thing bites it.
2-2 the count to Longoria. Now the count is full. Logan Morrison on deck. That's a foul ball.
Look at what Gavilio has been able to do. Remember we talked about the first inning? A lot of those sinkers elevated out over the plate. Ray's getting good swings. And now when you look at Fox Tracks, and this has been the trend here, he's getting that pitch down in the zone where he needs it. Look at these pitches to Longoria. All of them, down, down, down. That's where he has to live.
27-year-old right-hander, originally drafted by the Rays. He did not sign with them. ball up the middle and gets by Cano, trying to make a stab on a backhand attempt. And Longoria is 2 for 2 against the right-hander, Sam Gaviglio. AARP getting to know the Seattle right-hander a little bit better. Played for Italy this spring in the WBC. Not signed with the Rays in the '08 draft. Went to school at Oregon State, was drafted again by the Cardinals.
And that's what I knew we would get to that. I knew, Dwayne, you would lead us right there. Oregon State is a baseball powerhouse. I mean, figure that out. Corvallis. They were 49-4 this year in baseball.
You know, it's amazing because, well, you know what it's like to try to play in the North.
Yeah.
I mean, you're practicing inside because you can't go outside yet.
Yep.
Because of weather. It's tough.
And how do you, I mean, it's not like Corvallis, Oregon is a recruiting hotbed.
Yep.
You know, you look at the difference of the football programs. But baseball, for whatever reason, they have been one of the top teams in the country for years now. And like I said, 49-4, and you're playing in the Pac-12, which, by the way, includes some pretty good teams up and down the coast.
It's more of a challenge for pitchers, and maybe players overall, but I think especially pitchers who go to northern schools to attract the attention that they might otherwise attract, because there's a limited, just weather limits what kind of exposure you can have.
My junior year, Dwayne, the third week of February, we went to Western Carolina and played the Catamounts 3-game series. And then went back up to Dayton, Ohio, Wright State, and got snowed out for the next month. Then we went on our spring trip, played 2 games in Southern Miss, and then out to the University of Arizona. University of Arizona had 30 games in. We were playing, they were like our 5th game.
Absolutely.
They were already a well-oiled machine. We were midway through their schedule, and they're at the very top of ours. And that's where it is. It's an absolute challenge. You know, we go down to Western Carolina. I'm starting game 1, and I'm breaking my spikes in on the mound during the game because we've not been able to wear them. I mean, it's not that easy, and that's where really summer ball comes in. That's where you make your moves, is during the summer. You get noticed maybe during the season, but you play in a good summer ball team.
Oh, hot shot down to first, grabbed by Valencia, and they're going to double up Longoria. Well, nothing you can do about that. A low liner, Valencia made the grab and turned it into a double play.
Well, here it is, and you're right. A backhand right off the turf, and Evan Longoria does not have a chance. Nothing that he could do.
Well, he hit the ball hard, and that's all you can do from a hitter's point of view. Base is empty with 2 outs. And now Steven Souza Jr.
Where it gets really difficult are northern high school pitchers. Because, I mean, I can remember in high school, we'd be lucky to get in 15, 18 games. How many of them are you pitching? You know, half with all the rain, you know, I mean, not many. And by the way, who's driving up in the middle of nowhere to watch you in 45-degree weather pitch? That's where summer ball really comes into play.
Yeah, and it's so difficult to evaluate high school talent up there because you've got limited playing conditions and limited numbers of innings pitched and at-bats for hitters. It's really difficult to get I think a good read. 1-2 now. Souza behind in the count.
So that's where you've got to make your move in those showcases and, you know, get out there where the scouts are, because you're right. You are so limited. You know, it's tough to keep the fields real playable.
2-2. Ball 3. 3-2. Swing and a miss. Souza Jr.'s out on strikes. Bottom of the fourth coming, still a 2-run ball game.
And it's late night with the Rays. Great effort. That's what Kevin Cash said when talking about Steven Souza Jr.'s catch attempt in Minnesota. That StatCast listed as a 0% catch probability. Through this.
So here's what happens. So the ball's hit. I take a step. I've got no idea where the ball is now. And all I'm thinking is I don't want the ball to land in front of my feet and I don't dive. Or it's a hit. And so I just think, you know what? I'm going to dive. And if it lands in front of me, at least everybody's going to know, hey, he gave it an effort. You know, he tried. Unfortunately, the ball was about 30 feet away from me, and I did not know that. So had I seen the ball, I probably would have not laid out.
Well, he followed up that effort by hitting a home run. Guys, it was pretty fantastic, as you all know. But now we've seen some highlights, lowlights. And actually, Logan Morrison says that Souza just plays with reckless abandon.
Yeah, and you know you're always going to get effort from him.
Yeah.
And, I mean, you know that going in. That's just the way he plays. And whether you need that effort or not, you're going to get it from him.
You know what? And I actually believe him. You know, when he talks about what exactly was going on with that play, because when you look at the dive, you see the head turn towards the wall as if to protect himself.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know where this ball is, so I'm going to turn away. You know, from the baseball. So if it does hit me in the head, it hits me in the back of the head and not in the face. But yeah, he doesn't disappoint. He doesn't disappoint at all. And the reaction of Kiermaier and everybody else on that Rays team, even up here in the booth, was just it was maybe that's what I was laughing at, that dive.
2-1 the count on Valencia leading off the bottom of the fourth. Valencia singled home a run his first time. Motter will follow, and then Dyson. Now 3-1. Here's the challenge for the Rays, it would seem, to try to hold the Mariners right where they are, because you do get the feeling that if Cobb can do that over the next couple of innings, the Rays going to have a chance to score a couple of runs. There's a base hit the other way. Valencia now 2 for 2 And that's 8 hits given up by Cobb.
Yeah, and that's why it's going to be a challenge. Right now, the Mariners have dialed it in on Alex, and he's not actually doing himself very many favors with some of these counts, falling behind, and now he's forced to pitch over the plate, further up in the zone, and the Mariners are taking advantage of it. And I agree with you 100%, because you think about Gaviglio, how much longer is he going to continue to be perfect? And that's what he's been, really. He's gotten his location into a very good spot, but he's a guy that you feel the Rays are going to have some opportunities against.
Taylor Motter, the pitch in on him, and he fouls it out of play. Strike one. And to right. That's going to be tough for Souza Jr. to get there. That falls in. Throw comes to third. First and third with nobody out. Boy, they had Motter pulled way over into right center field. No chance for Souza to get there.
No, and that's where, sorry for jumping in there with the but this is why. There's Souza Jr. out there over into right center field already. This ball's popped up down the right field line, and you could see that there was going to be no way to get there. The only thing that he was going to be able to do is keep Motter at first base, and that high throw. Motter had thoughts about maybe moving up to second, but didn't. Now first and third, infield comes in. Nobody out.
Well, another key spot. The Rays trying to keep the deficit at 2. 2 men on with nobody out in the fourth. Gerard Dyson over to first. Back in head first is Motter. And again to first, back in.
You'd better be careful with Alex on the mound, because he's got quick feet, short, quick arm action, and he's accurate to first base. 3 of 6 stolen bases, sure, but how about right there? 4 pickoffs.
And Jim Hickey heads to the mound now. Runners on base in every inning so far for Seattle. $2 Kid Tuesdays presented by Morgan Auto Group continues this coming Tuesday when the Rays take on the White Sox. You can purchase $2 tickets for kids 14 and under with the purchase of a full price adult ticket. All fans can get $2 hot dogs presented by KM Freights. Call 888-FAN-RAYS or visit raysbaseball.com/specials. No count yet to Dyson. Chokes up on the bat. The pitch is down.
He wants that bat control, and he wants to get a ball in the air. That's what this has come down to. Alex Cobb going to try to bury the bottom of the strike zone. Dyson going to try to get something airborne.
And again to first. Kind of interesting, you get a guy like Dyson in a situation. By nature, he's a very aggressive hitter. He hits the ball on the ground. Now he finds himself in a situation where he'd like to elevate it.
Yeah. Which, and he may not change his approach. He may still think just hit the ball hard. Find it. Whoa.
Ooh, into the dirt, and what a save right there.
Goodness, you talk about a curveball gone awry. A curveball run amok. This thing had a mind of its own coming out of the hand of Cobb. Yikes. I mean, that ball bounced before it got into the shot.
2 balls, no strikes. Runner breaks from first, swing and a miss, throw down. It's not in time. So Motter picks up his 5th stolen base in as many attempts.
There's a little war going on here between the Rays and Taylor Motter.
Yeah.
It started last night. We started with his comments after the game, and then all those pickoff attempts, and he's like, well, you know what? Then I'm going to go. So there is there's a little something going on here between Taylor Motter and his former club.
Two and one the count. There's a strike, a fastball on the inside edge.
Well, now you can go for the strikeout. You need one terribly bad here with nobody out. Well, if I'm Alex Cobb, I'm saying out over the plate, 2 hooks. 2 hooks. Yeah, I'm going to come 2-2, and then if I need to, I'm going to come 3-2, and I'm going to bet that you're going to swing at one of them.
And a cut and a miss fastball. How about that?
How about that? Got it by him. Hey, like the result no matter what. Maybe Dyson was looking for the curveball.
Well, you couldn't blame him if he was. 2nd strikeout for Cobb, and this is a big one.
Boy, and just perfectly placed. You know, a lot of times you think down and into a lefty, not a good place to go. But boy, it worked out well there.
Well, Zunino's 2nd inning double is the difference in the game right now. He doubled into right center field. That got Valencia and Dyson home in the 2nd. Seattle catcher out of the University of Florida. And a liner into left for a base hit. 1 run is in. Valencia scored. Motter stopped at 3rd. 3 RBIs tonight for Zunino.
It's not often that you see teams going after first pitch curveballs in at bats, but the Mariners know this is a big pitch for Alex Cobb, and he's been throwing a number of those get me over early in the count curves, and they're taking some good swings at him. There's another productive one there, base hit and another run.
Zunino has seen 2 pitches tonight. 2 pitches. And he has a double and a single and 3 runs batted in.
And you wonder if he was sitting on that curveball, because the previous pitch that he saw was a fastball away that he lined deep out into right center. So thinking he's probably going to start me off curveball here, and it was out over and up.
Gamble takes the pitch up. 1-0. It's 10 hits for the Mariners in this game. Gamble has 2 of them. Out in front of that one.
Good change up there. Had some good late finish to it.
Three runs in the 2nd, a run in the 4th. Now it's 1-2.
Another changeup. At least Alex has, realized something I got to incorporate here a little bit. And now you've slowed Gamble down. Do you go with another one? Do you come up and in with the heater? Try to speed him back up? You've got a couple different options here that you can go with.
That pitch very close there.
He chose way up and in. Listen, you push him off the plate, and immediately you think old school style of pitching, change it back down and away. We'll see. No, it's not.
And a breaking ball gets away. Runner's going to try to score, and he's going to be out. at the plate. Motter trying to score on that ball that got away from Norris.
Bad read. That's all that was a bad read by Taylor Motter. This ball not nearly far enough away from Norris to attempt to score here with less than 2. And he's coming. There's Alex Cobb covering. Throw there in plenty of time and the tag. But once you commit, and he commits right there, that's too late. And you're not close enough. That's where some of the revenge factor may have gotten the best of Taylor Motter.
There's ball 4 wide to Gamble. He's on for the 3rd time. Zunino had moved to second on the play at the plate. So with a run home, 2 outs, men at first and second, Guillermo Heredia will be at the plate. Heredia, a couple of ground balls. Pitch is a strike. Broken bat, a roll is short. Beckham's throw is right there to retire Seattle. 1 run, it could have been a lot worse. 4-1 through 4, Seattle. On this day in 2003, Cub slugger Sammy Sosa ejected in the first inning at Wrigley Field when cork is discovered in that shattered bat on that ground out against the late Jeremy Gonzalez. Bat boy didn't know where it came from. Sosa said he didn't know. He was later suspended for 8 games. Here the Rays are down by 3, and they'll have Kobe Rasmus leading off the 5th. So we'll see if the offense can get started. Rasmus, Beckham, and Robertson due up. Rays have a run, 3 hits. The run came on the leadoff home run by Corey Dickerson tonight. Pitch pulled foul for a strike.
Well, they had some good swings early. Gaviglio leaving a lot of pitches up in the zone, and that's not where he's going to be able to sustain any type of a long outing is pitching up there. Well, he's found his way down to the bottom, both sides of the plate, and with it, he's thrown up some zeros.
A little tap foul. 0-2. Well, the Mariners right now 26-30. You know, they're without Felix Hernandez, Masashi Iwakuma. They really thought the lefty Drew Smiley would help. He's been on the shelf. I mean, you talk about losing starting pitching. They just got James Paxton back. So it's been a tough run for them to find enough pitching to be competitive.
Yeah, your top 4 starters were all down.
Yep.
Now you still have 3. Because this was the year that the Mariners are going for. They were loading up and going for it. This was their time, and then you've got the top 80% of your rotation on the disabled list at the same time.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
Christian Bergman threw a good game last night. Gavilio, they're counting on him. And what were you telling me before the game, Dwayne, that Scott Service was saying before the season? That he wasn't even on the radar in spring training.
That's exactly right. He says he's in our top 5 now. 2 balls, 2 strikes. I mean, that's what happens. You lose all your starters. You have to go hunting for arms, and he was pretty honest about that, Service. He said, this young man, the truth, he wasn't on their radar screen at that point. Big opportunity for him, and he gets that pitch to just nick the outside edge for strike 3 call.
Just moving the ball around the zone, and that's what he did. A lot of pitches close to Colby, and then pops one right there on the outside corner. And just catches that edge.
That box track shows us it is on the edge. We haven't seen a lot of Chris Siegel behind the plate, but he's shown a couple of pitches off the corner a little bit. He might go that way with you as well. So you figure that last pitch for sure will be a strike. Beckham fouls this one. Yeah, they have not seen Hernandez since the 25th of April was his last outing. Iwakuma has been out a month. The last outing he had was on the 3rd of May. It's been a tough stretch in that regard. 0-2.
That's what you're talking about. That ball just in off, maybe a hair, but close enough to be called, and that's what Seagal is doing. Gavilio showing some pitchability here himself, the way that he's working this Rays lineup right now.
One ball, 2 strikes. Two and 2. Daniel Robertson is on deck. Well, that home run tonight by Dickerson, so far the only run the Rays have had. We only had a couple other base runners against this young right-hander. Down to 3rd, gloved by Seager. That's out number 2. Beckham retired. Got the strongest ticket package and drinkware in the Bay Area with the Rays Flex Pack. Save up to 60% off the single game ticket price and receive 5 lower level tickets for $75. Get a Rays Up tumbler with each pack purchase. Call 888-FAN-RAYS or visit RaysBaseball.com/flex. Rays Up. Daniel Robertson. That pitch is a strike. Two quick strikes for Gaviglio.
You can see out there the confidence growing. He's starting to feel it. He understands that he's been able to find the bottom of the zone, both sides of the plate, moving it around. And he found about 47 feet there. So he's got it all covered down.
He's changing the eye level with that last pitch.
Of everybody.
There's a base hit into left center field. Robertson aboard.
Nice job of staying through that baseball. That was another pitch, it was down in the zone, but Robertson had seen two previous in almost the same spot. And so he just goes down here and meets it. Ropes that thing.
Well, here's Derek Norris. Norris lined to the shortstop his last time. So bounding away, Robertson. Actually a good jump. It's going to be a move up on a wild pitch. And the Rays have a man in scoring position.
Well, that's what you get. You keep the inning alive, some good base running. Try to steal this run.
Two and 0. Well, other than the home run, this is the first time the Rays have had a man in scoring position. There's Dickerson on deck. Boy, if Norris could keep the inning going, give Dickerson a shot.
Oh boy. Well, good approach here so far for the Rays catcher. Not going after those pitches down in the zone.
And a trip to the mound by Zunino. Well, Norris struggled early and then got very hot, got his average up pushing 250. And he's hit a dry spell recently. It's 2 for his last 28, so it's time for the hitting luck to turn around. There's a ground ball deep short. Grabbed by Motter, throw to first, gets him. And the Rays leave a man at second. Bottom of the 5th coming up, 4-1, Seattle. Brought to you by your Southern Chevy dealers. By Jeep, get great deals at the Jeep Spring Clearance Event. And by Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. From Safeco Field, we're through 4.5 onto the bottom of the 5th. Mariners have a 4-1 lead. Well, we've had a little free time in this stop in Seattle the last day or two, and that's from the top of the Space Needle.
Yeah. I was very happy with myself.
Yeah.
I was having a good day.
Got all the way up there?
Yep. Overlooking the city. It was a beautiful, beautiful view. You like my hat?
I do. Love the color, too. Some great handiwork on that hat.
Well, you know
Cuts
what?
quality.
Yeah. Oh, I felt very festive. Second off day in a row.
Yeah.
See, I was leaning there on the railing.
Here's Cano bouncing one foul. Strike one.
Where did they get this stuff? Where did they get this stuff? And you know what? And I look like I posed for that.
You didn't? I know these guys are magicians in the truck. Magicians. One and one. That's why we have to read the disclaimer that you just cannot believe all you see.
No.
No.
Yep. There's a lot of photoshopping that's done.
Yep.
Maybe with that hat.
The chop right side. Morrison with the toss to Cobb.
I will say this, though, Dwayne. I had a real problem with the late night with the Rays, the initial pop-up, where it was the headshots of me and you and Alex.
Yes.
Because when that thing popped up, if you'll notice, everybody looked great. Or you two looked great.
No.
But the top of my head was flat. Like you could carry a drink around down there. Like you could use me.
Oh, there you go.
What's wrong with the top of my head? Where'd it go?
I've got an easy chair at the house. I could put that right beside the easy chair.
Yeah, you can put your coffee cup on my head right now while I sit here. I'll stay very still because apparently it's flat.
See, that's oh well, hey, or you could have that. Now that would be the ultimate hat shot.
Next year. Next trip up the Space Needle, I'll wear that. It's still, let's not deflect from my flat head. It looks ridiculous.
Want to know the count on Cruz? Uh-oh. Long shot deep to left, and that one is gone. Into the bullpen. His 13th home run of the year. He's 3 for 3 in this game. Double, single, and a home run.
Well, we talked about him in the open, about how productive he has been. Leading the American League in runs batted in, coming into play, and now his 13th home run. And think about his hits. Rips a double by Longoria down the left field line, shoots a line drive by Logan Morrison for a single into right field, and then turns on a pitch out over the plate and bangs it out of the ballpark.
Seager taking a strike. 9th home run given up by Cobb this year. How about this for Cruz? He's 3 for 3 tonight off Cobb. He came into this game 3 out of 17 against Cobb, but 3 for 3 tonight. Two balls and a strike to count on Seager. Tap foul. 2-2. Outside of first. Souvenir. Then the count on Seager remains 2 balls, 2 strikes. Five runs off Cobb tonight. 11 hits. And he has Seager out in front and strikes him out.
Well, he got him with that changeup. You know, it doesn't have the same finish as we've seen before, but he's getting some good arm side run with it. When you combine the change of speed, if he can locate it and get a little bit of that run, it can be an effective pitch for him. You see the grip right there. And then watch this thing take off. Ever so subtle, but very effective.
Here's Danny Valencia. Pitch inside. Breaking ball stayed in. Well, Valencia was on 4 times last night. He's been on twice tonight. Last night had a walk, a homer, a double, and a single. 2 singles, 2 runs scored, and a run batted in tonight. He drove in 5 runs last night and scored 3 times. I mean, you talk about a wrecking crew, a single man wrecking crew. Last 9 games against the Rays. Look at these numbers.
Yeah, that's pretty hefty. My goodness.
2-1.
Yeah, and it's tough to go back and give you a good why. You know, you're facing one of the better pitching staffs in baseball, year in and year out, and you're doing this damage off of a lot of different guys and a lot of different styles. But for whatever reason, he sees that TB on the hat, and he brings out the hitting stick. And for damage, you know, the home runs, forget the average. The average is ridiculous, but then the homers and runs driven in.
There's another hit. Cut off by Souza Jr. And the Rays have yet to retire Valencia in this series in 7 plate appearances. Three for 3 tonight.
Now look where this pitch is. That's a pitch that's right out over the heart of the plate, about belt high. Too easy for a guy who especially right now is locked in.
Here's Taylor Motter. He's 1 for 2 tonight. One ball, no strikes. One and one. Two balls and a strike. Foul out of play. It was the bottom of this order that did all the damage in the game last night, starting with Valencia, the number 6 hitter. The 6, 7, 8, and 9 hitters last night had all the RBIs in the game for Seattle. Valencia's 3 for 3 tonight. Madu's 1 for 2. Dyson's 1 for 2. Zunino 2 for 2. So the bottom of the order continues to be a challenge. This one is fouled straight back, and it's going to be just below us here, down into the stands. So the count holds at 2-2. One pitches in the 4th, 20 so far here in the 5th inning. Valencia back in. Comes in high, full count. That is ball 4, and Cobb thought he had a strike right there. He was not happy with that call by Chris Siegel, the plate umpire.
Not at all. That's out over the plate, down, bottom part of the zone, but you could see the arms come out from Alex Cobb and some frustration, not only of this pitch, but just the overall night in general. He had a point.
Well, here's Dyson. Had him out in front. He gave up a base hit on a breaking ball in the 2nd inning. Struck him out on a fastball in the 4th. 2 on, 2 out, a 1-strike count. And there's a bunt. Norris cannot field it cleanly, and the bases are going to be loaded. Cobb came down off the mound, and Norris sort of moved him off the play and then could not pick up the ball cleanly.
That's when you have the added element of pressure. And Dyson, you know that he can fly up the line, so you're going to have to be flawless in picking the ball up, spinning and throwing. Lays it down. Here comes Norris under control. And right there, understanding that he's going to have to rush things, he's not able to make that play.
So with 2 outs, the bases are loaded.
And you see those replays, you wonder if he was going to be able to make it anyway.
Yeah. Because
he's opening up to the inside. It's going to be a tough arm angle to get it to first base with a whole lot on it, and Dyson was real close anyway, so that may have been for naught, but boy, you've got to tighten up and end this right now against the guy you've not gotten out yet tonight.
Zunino doubled in 2 runs in the 2nd. He singled home a run in the 4th. Chase Whitley gets up in the Rays bullpen. And a swing and a miss. Had him out in front. He got some nice action on that pitch.
Yeah, well, he's finally starting to incorporate it here as this game's moved along, and it's gotten better and better the more he's used it.
And a shot foul. Oh, 2. Zunino has swung an aggressive bat tonight. He had 5 runs batted in all year, has 3 tonight. Bases loaded. wide. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Swing and a drive deep to left. That one will go. Grand slam by Zunino. So for the second straight night, the Mariners hit a grand slam off Rays pitching, and the bottom of the order continues to be a major problem for the Rays pitching staff here in Seattle. It's 9-1.
Well, this ball just hung out over the plate. Alex Cobb didn't even need to look, and Zunino almost took it out of the building, Dwayne. That was in the last couple of rows in the second deck out there. Close to being completely out of here. The very definition of a no-doubter.
Fly ball center field. Kiermaier's there to make the catch. That'll retire the side. It's a 5-run fifth. 2 home runs in the inning, including the grand slam from Mike Zunino. He has driven in 7 of the 9 runs, and the Mariners lead 9-1. Zunino out of the University of Florida, and boy, has he put together some night at the plate. 7 runs batted in, a double, a single, and a grand slam.
Well, here it is. The fastball away, deep right center field. Going to drive in some runs there. How about this? Going to get a ball out into the outfield, a base hit, drive some more in, and then well, you cap it off with that. What a night. 7 runs batted in through the first 5 innings of the game. And by the way, he had 5 runs batted in on the season coming in.
Top of the batting order, Corey Dickerson against James Puzzles. Hard throwing left-hander. And the first pitch is popped up foul, out of play. Gaviglio, 5 innings, a run, 4 hits. Gave up a home run to Dickerson. Struck out 6. He didn't walk anybody. Threw a wild pitch, and Pazos is on for the 24th time.
See the strikeouts, that tells you about the stuff. 30 and over, just over 24 innings of work.
He's not overly complicated. Fastball, slider, and his velocity starts in the mid-90s.
I tell you, you've got to, after giving up the leadoff home run to Dickerson, you got to tip your hat to Gaviglio. Boy, did he settle down, find the bottom of the strike zone, and the Rays just couldn't figure him out after that. Pretty impressive the way he pitched.
This is headed to the shortstop, Motter. So 5 innings, 90 pitches, and Gaviglio gives way here.
You can see him getting the breaking ball down in the zone, getting that fastball up and in by Corey Dickerson. Nice little fastball with darting action there, catching the corner. He really did a great job of finding the corners, finding the bottom of the third of the strike zone, and sailed through after that leadoff home run.
Kevin Kiermaier 0 for 2, takes a pitch low. A ball, no strikes. Now the Rays held the lead briefly tonight. They got a leadoff homer from Dickerson to make it 1-0. Seattle scored 3 in the bottom of the second to take the lead. How about this for a number for the Rays? They have held the lead in 50 of the 58 games they played this year. That's the highest percentage in the major leagues. It's a little over 86% of their games they've held the lead.
Well, they've been such a prolific team scoring early, especially in the first inning, that makes sense. The problem is what happened, here tonight.
Yep.
Lead-off home run, boom, there you take your lead, but then Gaviglio settles in, and the opposing team starts to put some innings together. And that's been far too often a too common refrain. And right there, Pazos able to get Kiermaier looking for out number 2.
7th strikeout for Seattle pitching tonight. Pazos in the game for an inning last night. Gave up a couple of runs, picked up 2 strikeouts.
How about lacing that pitch? Middle of the plate, down.
He gave up the home run last night to Kiermaier. Strikes him out looking tonight. And here's Longoria looking at a strike. Again, mid-90s. One and one. Evan 2 for 2. There's a pair of base hits. Whitley loosening again in the Rays bullpen. It'll take the count to 2-2 on Longoria. Ground ball through the right side. There's a base hit. So Evan is 3 for 3. The Rays have 5 hits. Evan has 3 of them.
Need some help.
Well, here's Logan Morrison. Rays a long way to go in this game. A 5-run 5th inning, blowing it open for Seattle. Morrison, nothing of 2.
Got robbed by Valencia.
Yeah, hit the ball hard, but the first baseman Valencia grabbed it, a low liner, and then Valencia turned it into a double play. One and one. Five innings for the Seattle starter. The big lefty on in the 6th inning, and that one the other way where it's pretty open down that third base side. And Morrison just fouled it. Broken bat roller back to the mound. The toss over. Rays leave a man. Bottom of the 6th coming. 9-1 Seattle.
I had some fun touring around the last 2 days. Got to check out Pike's Marketplace. Even caught a fish, apparently, based on that photo. Now, what's the only thing better than having an interview with Steven Souza Jr.? How about the outtakes and bloopers from our conversation? Keep the mic kind of, well, a little bit low.
2 hands. I don't know. Ooh, nice play. Who was that? Is that me? Some of the thoughts that I got. I got to sift through this up here.
You know, everybody's trying real hard out there. Just going really, really fast.
The chicken before the egg.
The only thing we didn't get to see, guys, he actually sang the Aladdin song, I Can Show You the World. Oh, but I just found out from KP, we're going to hear that later. How about that?
Yeah, so stay with us. There's all kinds of things coming up.
Yeah.
And by the way, that seafood, I mean, they can ship that back. So Alex had that giant fish down there. They'll ship it right home.
The thing about it, too, that was a pretty big fish.
Yeah.
And she had a hold of that thing, smile on it, showing absolutely no distress whatsoever.
Yeah, it was no problem, guys.
got
I
some
actually
guns.
call it catching. It's not fishing, it's catching.
It's catching.
Oh, look at that. It's confidence.
Yeah,
See,
see?
fishing, you're not sure.
Yeah.
I don't go
you.
fishing. I go catching. I
Yeah,
like that.
Yeah, I like that.
I like that a lot.
Good attitude. Michael Martinez in the game at third. Chase Whitley, the new pitcher for the Rays. There's a big cut and a miss by Heredia. And it's 1-2. So 5 innings for Cobb. 14 hits, 9 runs. He walked 2, struck out 3, gave up 2 home runs, 94 pitches. There's a swing and a miss. Heredia is out on strikes. Now Robinson Cano. Cano 0 for 3. This is a strike. Yeah, one of those nights when the Mariners score all these runs and Cano hitless. "14 hits, 9 runs, and he's 0 for 3.
You never would have guessed that. You never would have guessed that. But then again, you would have never guessed that Mike Zunino would have 7 runs batted in through the first 5 innings.
That's right. One ball, 1 strike. There's a strike call.
Yeah, that didn't look good the way that that ball was caught by Derek Norris, but that absolutely was a strike. The visuals not real good, but you see clearly that ball catches a lot of plate. That will not go on a framing highlight reel. That much I can assure you.
It's fouled back. Now Whitley in here after the game Tuesday in Texas when he was touched for 4 runs. Rays have been out hit 14-5 tonight. And the count is 2-2. Rays started the night a game over 500, 29-28. Seattle with this big lead. Popped up. Martinez into shallow left. Rasmussen. He'll make the catch. 2 gone. Martinez alone on that side of the infield and could not get back there, but it carried to the Rays left fielder. Nelson Cruz has a double, a single, and a home run. Hitting .295 for the year. The home run is 13th. Started this game leading the American League in runs batted in. And he has one of those tonight. 43 on the year. Chase Whitley throws him a strike. .43 home runs last year for Cruz. 0-2. And he's out on strikes, so Whitley has a 1-2-3 inning. First time that's happened tonight. On to the 7th, 9-1 Seattle. By your Gulf Coast Honda dealers. By Jeep. Get great deals at the Jeep Spring Clearance Event. And by Pinch a Penny, the perfect people for a perfect pool.
Well, Dwayne, you have not mentioned the camera crew that was following you yesterday at your trip to the Museum of Pop Culture. And apparently digging what you saw. Raise the power fist, baby. You're sending a message. You're almost political there.
I'm just waving at trying to get a guy to bring me a cup of coffee.
No.
Those are guys all over this place.
Would you bring a guy that had that look on his face a cup of coffee? There you go. Far too serious. That's an angry man right there.
Coffee would relax one.
Look at you. What a day.
Boy,
the weather was great.
It was just absolutely gorgeous.
Might as well get out about and, go see what's going on.
Steve Cishek is going to be the new pitcher.
I would never have guessed you for the Museum of Pop Culture, though. Of all the things that you could do in Seattle, I know we had 2 days, two very nice days, but Museum of Pop Culture, I never would have guessed.
Oh, foul ball. It's nice to learn things about each other like that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. We've been together as partners. Never grows stale that way.
I guess it kind of makes sense now. Some of the lingo and slang that you came into the booth with tonight. Not really sure where you got it, but now I do. Now I know.
1 ball, 1 strike. One attempts to be well-rounded.
Well, go down to the Pike Place Market.
Yeah. This one is low and outside.
I went down there and I have a whole different worldview now. Way different.
Ground ball, foul, 2-2 to Souza Jr. Steven Souza Jr., a big part of this late night with the Rays presentation. We appreciate that.
Yeah, and the way that the score is right now, we need more. We need more Souza Jr., more something.
Ooh, that one hanging up there, and he took a rip but fouled it back.
I mean, this has been an ugly couple of nights for the Rays, who really had put together some impressive series, here over the last couple of weeks. And getting their doors blown in the first 2 games in this one against a team that, Dwayne, when we were coming into this series, you looked at all the pitchers on the disabled list, the fact that they were going to miss Paxton, and then you had Segura go down, and you're thinking to yourself, this Seattle team is ripe for the picking, and they have been anything but.
It's interesting this year, with the exception, I guess, maybe the American League West, where Houston started the day leading by 12.5 games over the Angels. And then over in the National League, Washington with an 11-game lead to start the day over the Mets. But everybody else seems to do exactly what the Rays are doing.
Yep.
You know, Rays got 2 games over 500, drop a game, win a couple, then drop 2. It's just back and forth all around the 500 mark. And there is strike 3 called. Souza Jr. called out on strikes. That's the first out in the 7th.
I don't know if Souza Jr. trying to coax a walk here, but that pitch, a very good pitch, and it's absolutely right there in the zone. And there's the turnaround.
It's Colby Rasmus. Outside 1-0. Rasmus is nothing of 2. Two balls, no strikes. Rays have been out hit 14-5 and trail 9-1. On the ground to first, Valencia unassisted. 2 up and 2 down. MLB.com at bat. Still your #1 mobile app for live Rays baseball. Stay connected with a fully customizable experience. Get Rays home screen icons and app features, as well as live game video, highlights, StatCast, and more. Download MLB.com at bat today.
You know what? There's one thing here at Safeco Field that they could add to improve this place, and that is apparently garbage cans.
Really?
Yeah, you were doing the read.
Yeah.
Did you see the shot we had?
Oh, no.
I mean, clean it up, people. Look, what? Come on. There's nothing to put. There's no containers to put that stuff in. All that clutter.
Gotcha. Well, and there's no room. There's too many empties. That would be an issue.
Well, you know what? Then
you'd like to replace those empties.
Make that. Well, I would.
Yeah.
One, and I will later. But number 2, you know, just add in a couple more. You know.
Yeah.
You see that, and you say maybe we should throw in another canister somewhere.
Sure.
So people could put that in there, as opposed to whatever that mess was. Just saying, it's a beautiful place. That didn't look very beautiful.
Well, there's a practical side and the aesthetic side.
Yeah.
And frankly, I felt like you were more concerned about the aesthetics of that than the actual inability to get a refill up there.
Well, it's both.
I got you.
Wouldn't you like to have a full, you know, something in front of you? Anything besides that?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I mean, do you see what we're left to discuss right now? These 9-1 games are no good.
Yeah. No, one would prefer not to have them. A little tap down to third. A throw on the move by Seager retires Beckham. 3 up, 3 down. When we come back, more from Alex and Steven Souza Jr.
In the 7th, we are. Now, we played 2 terrible choices. No way out. I'm trying to keep it serious here. We played Would You Rather with Steven Souza Jr., and here he is on whether he'd like to be invisible or be able to fly.
Fly. Yeah, I don't want to be invisible. That's lonely. Nobody sees you. That's weird. I'd rather fly. You can go anywhere you want.
Would you rather have a flying carpet or drive a car underwater?
Ooh. Flying carpet. Yeah, like Aladdin, you know. I can show you the. I'd rather, I mean, who doesn't want a flying carpet?
Yes, there it was. The song, you guys. What'd you think of his singing voice?
There was a start there. I mean, I wish we could have gotten him deeper into the song, but you could see that. I like the live shot of the booth more than anything, Dwayne.
Yeah.
And that was truly a live shot of the booth.
Oh.
I like the flying carpet. I think that would be great.
You would.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, a car underwater, pointless.
Yeah. Yeah, that just doesn't sound too promising.
No.
But a flying carpet.
And the invisible thing, too.
Yeah.
Kind of creepy.
Mm-hmm.
I get that one. Rather fly.
I thought Susan had a pretty good response to that.
Yeah.
It'd be kind of lonely. No one would see you.
Yeah, you're a creepster if you'd rather be, you know,
Yeah.
invisible.
This one wide. 1 and 2. Zeptinski up in the bullpen now for Seattle. They've utilized 3 pitchers. Got 5 from their starter, Sam Gaviglio. Seager down in the count, 1 and 2. Yeah, here's the deal. Seager's 0 for 3, Cano 0 for 4. And the Mariners have a 9-1 lead.
Yeah, there's no way. I mean, obviously you've got Cruz in there, but those are your big 3 in the middle of that lineup that, you know, have the track record.
Nice grab right there, and Whitley tosses it to first. Seager is out of there. Well, coming up on Rays Live, the postgame presented by WB Mason. We will take over the hosting duties from the booth in the postgame. So tell our man Rich and they can just go home early.
I think they're probably already there.
We'll have Kevin Cash in the press conference.
Yeah.
And we'll go live to the clubhouse with Alex for interviews. Sort of.
And here's the thing. Everybody thought that live shot of the booth was when I was going off on my rant about garbage cans at Safeco Field, but it wasn't. That reaction of you was when we were being told that we will be hosting the postgame show, and that was your just off the cuff reaction.
And I can't deny that.
Why you had a stick mic, I'm not sure, but it's very accurate.
There we go. We should just leave that shot up, and we'll do the postgame on the center field camera.
Let's do a show.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like a talk show.
Yeah. If we could get, we got to get a desk and a sofa.
Some cue cards. Welcome people in.
Yeah. I think Merv Griffin's set is available.
It's one of the best episodes that there was. Oh, man.
Oh, a base hit into center field.
Again.
And he's on base again. Valencia, 4 for 4 tonight. The Rays have not gotten him out in this series.
That's exactly what they're talking about. And Kiermaier and Souza are saying that this guy.
He's been on 8 times in a row in this series.
You think about some of the pitches that he's gotten to hit here tonight. They have been out over the plate, flat. Now, granted, you still got to get it done, which he is, but my goodness.
Taylor Motter, broken bat roller to short. Out at second, out at first, 6-4-3. The double play started by Beckham, turned by Robertson, and we go to the eighth, 9-1 Seattle. How about Albert Pujols becoming the 9th hitter to reach the 600 mark in home runs, connecting off Erwin Santana. And Albert Pujols providing a little history there. That's our showstopper.
A grand slam on top of it. Wow.
We're headed into the 8th here. Daniel Robertson about to lead off for the Rays. Changes on the hill. The left-hander Mark Zepchinski takes over. He is the 4th pitcher of the night. Cishek worked 1 inning, 22nd appearance for the Seattle lefty now.
How about that opponent average of .098? Zepchinski is a lot of experience, bounced around to a lot of different places, and has had his fair share of success.
Some defensive changes for Seattle. Heredia has gone to center field. Smith's in at second base. Powell in the game and left. One and two the count on the Rays' second baseman. And what a way for Pujols to hit the 600 mark in home runs with a grand slam. That's a check swing, 2-2. Three balls, 2 strikes. On deck, Eric Norris. That will be a foul ball. We'll see another 3-2 pitch. Rays lost last night's series opener 12-4, and they're down 9-1. 5-run first inning last night for Seattle. They had a 5-run fifth tonight. Look out, foul ball into the seats just behind the dugout. Three-two again. Robertson battling the lefty. And ball 4. So leadoff walk. Here's what's coming up tomorrow on Rays Live. Pre-game show presented by your Gulf Coast Honda dealers. Erasmo Ramirez will be on the hill for the Rays, making the start with his record of 3-0. We'll hear from him. And Orestes will break down Danny Valencia. Maybe we should let Orestes pitch to him and see if he could get him out. No one has been able to do that in this series yet. Pitch is down to Derek Norris. A fastball missing, 1-0. The Mariners have scored 21 runs in these two games, first two games of the series. Norris lifts a fly ball toward left center. Heredia is over to make the catch. Robertson returns to first. 21 runs scored by Seattle. The bottom of the order, 6, 7, 8, and 9 hitters responsible for 20 of the 21, and Norris is not in good shape on his way back to the dugout. And that does not look good at all.
He pointed to his low back, and that's exactly how, how you hobble like that. See what happens. So right there, he's already feeling it.
So Norris leaves with an apparent back issue. And now Ricky Weeks Jr. will bat in the place of Corey Dickerson. Takes the pitch down. 1 on, 1 out. So Dickerson, who homered in the first, goes 1 for 3. And Weeks will hit in his place. Chopped down to third. Throw to first in time. Moving into second base, Robertson. Weeks out third to first. Boy, you think about the injury to Norris. You know, the Rays carrying 2 catchers. It's a quick turnaround, day game tomorrow. So you would figure they'll do their best if it's as serious as it appeared, and it didn't look good.
No.
So they'll try to get somebody in here to catch as quickly as possible, at least to give them 2 catchers. Because if Norris is unable to go, they're down to just the 1. Kiermaier 0 for 3 and down 1 strike in the count. Ground ball third base. And across it goes to first. No runs, a walk, and a man left. Bottom of the 8th coming, 9-1 Seattle. inside look, and boy, when you take a look at this box score, you know, you figure if Cano's going to go 0 for 4 and Seager's 0 for 4, you have a chance. But the bottom of the lineup certainly has taken care of the offense again tonight.
No, I mean, these guys have gotten it done. It's 2 nights in a row. You're talking about 6, 7, 8, 9. Valencia, the Rays have not been able to figure him out. Taylor Motter continues to be a pain. Dyson, Zunino, the night that he's having, just ridiculous.
7 runs batted in for Zunino. Boog Powell's going to lead off against Tommy Hunter. Hunter, the new pitcher for the Rays, making his 15th appearance. Pitch is a strike. Jesus Sucre behind the plate. It's 1-1. 2 innings for Chase Whitley. No runs, a hit, couple of strikeouts, and now it's Tommy Hunter facing Powell. 1-2 count.
Tommy Hunter, he's got a good fastball, but he also has a very good cutter too. That one was at 92. Good late movement down and in, and throws hard enough that you've got to commit early.
And that one down around his feet. Did it get him or not? That came close. I don't know how he missed him. 2-2.
Let's take a look. Ooh, boy, yeah. I mean, it just wrapped right around that front foot.
Look out, a foul ball down toward the end of the Rays dugout. The ball ricocheting back out. Tamper foul. Powell battling Hunter. The Yankees won their game. The Red Sox won. Baltimore lost. That was a 5-2 Boston win over the Orioles.
Everybody else involved in division play, while the Rays are out here on the West Coast.
Yeah, the Yankees beat Toronto 7-0. Three and 2. So right now the Yankees will have a 3-game lead over Boston, 3.5 over Baltimore. And should this game end the way it appears, the Rays would be 5.5 back and Toronto 6.5 back. Strike 3 call. Powell out of there for out number 1. Beginning June 15th, the greatest players in the world descend upon Aaron Hills for one of golf's most anticipated events of the year. Dustin Johnson looks to defend his title, but Jason Day, Jordan Spieth, and Rory McIlroy primed to tame golf's ultimate test. The 117th U.S. Open begins June 15th on Fox FS1 and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. Strike 1 to Zunino. Hit the grand slam in the 5th. 7 runs batted in tonight. It's wide. Drove in 2 with a double in the 2nd, 1 with a base hit in the 4th, and then the grand slam came in the 5th. Ball, 2 strikes. Swing and a miss. So Zunino, who's had a career night at the plate, strikes out for the second out here in the 8th. And the fans give him a hand for this night. He's never driven in more than 3 runs in a game. He has 7 tonight. Hitting his first grand slam. Here's the top of the order. Ben Gamble. 2 singles, a walk, and a fly ball to right. And there's a strike. One and one. Liner into right field, a base hit. Gamble's on for the 4th time.
How do you get to that pitch? I mean, Tommy Hunter's got plenty of velocity, a good cutter, and this ball, he targeted it pretty well up and in on Ben Gamble, and the fact that he's able to get the hands through, look at that. He pulled those hands through and he got the barrel to that baseball. I mean, those hands were scraping right across the front of his jersey. That is as good as it gets, shortening your swing.
Heredia tonight 0 for 4. A little low with that one. 16 hits tonight for Seattle. Popper short right center. Kiermaier takes care of that. And we're going to head into the 9th. It's 9-1. Jeep. We go to the 9th inning in Seattle.
Got the Ferris wheel.
Got it.
Down there on the right by the market.
Well, look at that.
Oh, that's right. Well, I met up with you after you went to the Museum of Pop Culture. I was done at the Space Needle.
Yep.
Made a quick change to get into some different clothes. Lost the hat.
Yeah.
Even shaved.
Anything for the show.
Yeah. And then you and I headed up into the Needle, or excuse me, the the wheel.
Yeah, the great wheel.
The great wheel.
Yeah.
There we are, making our rounds.
Yeah.
Great camera placement.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if you knew this, but that's a big wheel. Kind of a big wheel.
It is, yes. It's the great wheel.
Well, here's Martinez taking a big cut and a miss. First pitch from Edwin Diaz. He is a hard thrower, making his 22nd appearance. Quickly ahead of Martinez. He entered the game at third in the place of Longoria. Evan had gone 3 for 3 tonight.
Oh,
Strike 3 call. Diaz makes quick work of Martinez. You pretty much know what you're going to get with Diaz.
yeah, he is lanky, and he's got great life and finish on those heaters. Boy, oh boy. Nothing fancy about what he did to Martinez right there. Just 98 to 100. Here it is.
Now Logan Morrison against Edwin Diaz. Rays have been out hit 16 to 5, and they trail 9 to 1. One. Foul back. Rays got a run on the Dickerson home run in the first. They got another hit from Longoria in that inning, and they've scattered a couple of Longoria singles and one by Robertson the rest of the way to account for their 5 hits. Seattle dominating this game tonight. Two balls, 2 strikes. Three and 2. Steven Souza Jr. on deck. Right back into the screen. Tomorrow's game, a 4:10 start time Eastern time. Our coverage begins at 3:30. High fly ball deep into right center. That ball will carry out of here, and a home run, number 16 for Logan Morrison, and that makes it 9-2. 3-2 pitch, and Morrison hits it out.
Well, he was able to time up the fastball as that at-bat went on and on and on, and then down and in. Always dangerous, especially for a guy like Logan Morrison. He's got that uppercut swing, doing a much better job this year of getting the ball into the air. And for the 16th time, it's over the wall.
That's his 100th career home run. The Rays have 2 runs tonight. A couple of solo homers from Dickerson and now Morrison.
Majestic. That's the way you describe that. You hit it that high, that deep out into right center.
Two balls and a strike. There's a shot off the bat of Souza Jr. Will carry to Gamble in right. Two gone. So with the bases empty and 2 outs, Colby Rasmus will be the hitter. Rasmus 0 for 3 tonight, a couple ground balls to first and a strikeout in between. Pitch is low. Two and 0. Missed the fastball. 2 and 1. Beckham is on deck. Foul the other way. 2 and 2. And this one is over. Fastball. Rasmus out on strikes. The Rays with a run in the 9th on the home run. And Seattle has taken the first 2 games of this series, winning tonight 9-2. Biglio is the winner. Cobb the losing pitcher before 26,995. For Brian Anderson, Alex Cordry, Dwayne Stats, hope you've enjoyed the telecast and not the outcome. Rays live the